What is good, you of the tube? It is your boy OGsneekerz back in the building. Yes, I've been gone. Yes, I'm back. I'm sorry. Did you miss me? I missed you, but let's get right to it. Before we get into today's review, do me a favor. Smash that like button. Subscribe if you're not already part of the family. Videos are coming. You know, it's an ebb and flow type of thing. Sometimes you're on it. Sometimes you got to back up just a little bit to give yourself some room to breathe. So I breathed, and now I'm ready to hit you with the fire video. So let's just get right to it. The last couple weekends, it has been all about the exclusive, hard to get Jordan 1s. Maybe not for everybody, but there have been a couple pair the last couple weekends that have some of us in the sneaker family kind of in our feelings. A couple weeks ago, it was the resurgence of the all patent leather Jordan 1. It is the gold toe Jordan 1 high, and this is, like, for some is a consolation prize. If you will remember, at Complex Con in LA, they had the top threes that dropped that were all patent leather Jordan exclusive to Complex Con in LA, and they had the white where the gold was, and I believe they had a white tongue. So the consolation prize for those of us who couldn't get the plane ticket to LA was the gold toes. But these right here were not easy to come by. So last year, towards the end of the fourth quarter, Jordan Brand said, hey, look, people, next year you were complaining about all these Jordans sitting and it was too many. We're going to stop that. And we're going to do a lot of different things, and the shoes are going to be more difficult to get your hands on. I think some people thought they were joking, but they wasn't playing. They weren't playing at all. If I can say anything, I'm going to say this a bunch of times. You got to diversify the way that you cop. If you're just used to copping in your local area, you got to get on these online apps. You got to get on these online raffles. You got to make some relationships with your local stores. Try to reach out and look at other stores other than those big box places that, you know what I'm talking about. I ain't trying to call no names, but in my area, check out the Shoe Cities. Check out the DTLRs. Check out those other places that you may not necessarily shop, because sometimes that's where you're going to win. Shout out to my co-host on Talking Kicks, Cadillac Jackson. He's one of the dudes that really hit me to buying overseas and checking out, you know, like the shops like Sneakers and Stuff, and I'm drawing a blank right now, but other online retailers that are in the UK and Germany. Yeah, you got to get up at 3 o'clock in the morning sometime to catch those hits, but sometimes you get a chance to eat before others who want to sleep are eating, and you may get a second bite at the apple because you pick up on an overseas shop, and then maybe you might hit on the SNEAKERZ app, or you might hit on a reservation app with Foot Locker, Foot Action, Champs. East Bay still sells shoes, y'all. Don't sleep on them. Sometimes you think they don't have things, and they have things. The NBA store sometimes are really dope shoes. They'll have smaller size runs, but people are looking over here, and you might be able to go right over there, and there's no line. Let's get to the shoe. You've seen it. You know a lot about it. I just want to say, first of all, I was having a conversation with a friend of mine, and I said I thought these shoes were all patent leather, and they are, which means they are going to be a crease monster. This shoe right now, you see it here. It looks just so silky and sexy. But man, when you put those on feet, I am afraid to know what that toe box is going to look like. So over here, these bad fellas are going to sit on ice. Happy to have them in my collection. I've said before, I think ones on feet are one of the dopest looking silhouettes. You can wear them with so much. You can dress them up. This probably is going to be like, if I do like a concert or something like this. Yeah, I am a musician. I could see this with a nice all black outfit and like a dope gold shirt on stage. I just think those would look fire. So To those of you who were able to cop these, congratulations. For those of you who were not, there's still some available, you know, in the secondary market. And sometimes, depending on how, you know, how well or how bad you want something, that's a decision that you have to make. I have a buddy, he calls it a pimp decision. You know, it's like, are you going to go all in, or are you just going to lay back and say, hey, you know, that one wasn't for me? You have to make that decision. Let me know down in the comments. Did you pick them up? What do you think about them? Were you interested in them? The only thing I feel about these, like in the secondary market, maybe somebody bought them and they decided they didn't like them, or they only wore them 1 or 2 times. Man, I just feel like it's going to have mad creases. I'm not one for those inserts that are supposed to keep the creasing down, because I just feel like, for me, it'd just be too much pain on my feet. But if you know of one of those devices, I don't want to call the name, because we're not repping anybody here, that works and is comfortable, drop something in the comments. You know, let me know what you think. This right here, the Black Toes, is my favorite Jordan colorway of ones to rock. It's just something about them on feet. Of course, I dropped the white leather laces in them to kind of make them pop just a little bit more. Shout out to the family over at Sneakerheads clothing line. Y'all know how to do, y'all know how to find them. They got dope laces. And if you want to save 10% on your purchase, you can use the code OGsneekerz and save yourself 10%. The shoe that dropped this past Saturday, it had a lot of people faked out, because according to the maps, these things were going to be all over the place. But I remember saying on Talking Kicks on Wednesday, don't let that fool you, because I think it's going to be in a lot of places, but there are not going to be a lot of pairs available. And there were a lot of people who thought maybe their place was going to do first come, first serve, and they didn't. They ended up switching and doing a reservation app. I actually almost got caught on that, because I checked one of the reservation apps. I think it was Foot Locker. I checked like early Monday, and I didn't see anything. It was saying that they were going to be first come, first serve. And then sometime between then and Tuesday, it switched up, and they were on reservations. I was able actually to cop on the reservation app outside of my home area. So if you don't know about those reservation apps, I encourage you to educate yourself about how they work, because if you are spending money in those places, you definitely want to know how they work, because it can increase your chances to cop. So these are, of course, the Bred toes, which are a derivative of the Black Toes, just simply changing the color of the tongue and making the toe box red instead of white. Originally, I wasn't necessarily going to go for these. I saw a video by my big brother, Jumpman Bostic, talking about the quality of the leather, and that's the main thing that I wanted to do this video to talk about. So let me just get it out of the way right now. Respect to my big brother, these are not shattered backboard quality. I think now we've kind of settled on that. Most of the people I've heard say have come back around to that. I don't know what his opinion, but his initial look was saying that they were kind of close. And I agree. They are kind of close. But what I wanted to do was just take a few minutes to share kind of, for me, what I see as the differences between the two of these and why this is not quite this. So, let me show you the shattered first. Alright, so the thing that I want to try to point out, and I hope that the camera can pick this up. If you look right on, I'm hoping that's getting in focus, on the edges of the orange part of the leather. Hopefully you can kind of see it's focusing in on that. That the leather kind of has like, it's kind of natty. It has like little strings and so forth coming off of it. I'll try to do it on the other camera that's here closer to me, and maybe it will show up there. But if you see that, that reminds me of like the leather try this one more time. Like, just put your eyes right on the edge of the orange part of the leather that's kind of going across the collar there. And you'll see some little strings coming off. That reminds me a lot of the leather from an old Rawlings baseball glove. And that's an indication that the leather is just like, all I can say is uber soft. And you'll notice that the cut of the leather is a little bit thicker in comparison to, look in the same areas on the Bred toe here. Really smooth cut, and if you look kind of from a top down type of angle, the leather is not that as thick. Thus, it's not as soft. It's nice. It's good leather. It's better than that GR release Jordan 1 that are like the Instacrease ones, I like to call them. And the leather that's in the midsection here, the off-white, is soft, but it ain't nothing compared to what's going on right here with the shattered backboards. And even the reverse shattered backboards. This is probably closer to the reverse shattered backboards than it is to the original shattered backboard. You've probably already heard that, so my vote, my addition into it is that no, they are not the same. Also, let me see if I can show you the back of this again. Again, if you just focus in on the top of that orange leather, you'll see the little strings that are coming, and you'll see kind of, you should be able to see kind of the thickness. We'll try to put it here too. The thickness of the leather. That's an indication that the leather is going to be more plush and softer. And you'll see here on the Bred toe, the cut on the top of the leather is much smoother, and it's actually a thinner leather. Now, I'm not a leather expert, so don't, you're saying, oh, OG is trying to be like he's a leather expert. That's just, when I look at it, it's like, okay, what things can I see that kind of give me an indication of what the leather is going to look like or feel like. So, definitely still a dope cop. I'm glad that I got it. They're going to sit on the ice for a while because the price is going up. It's like locally here, they started like on the drop day, maybe they were like around in the $250, $275. Then they jumped up to $300. And now here locally, these are selling in resale shops for $350. And they're probably going to go up. Not that I got them for that purpose, but sometimes, something sits on ice for long enough and something else comes up. Like, I gladly let these go for a pair of Frico line 3s. Of course, maybe I have to put a little cash in the deal to make it happen, but absolutely. Or the Levi's 4s that just dropped. Definitely would love to get my hands on those. That's really it for the review today. Wanted to share those pickups and say thank you for your patience. Got a lot of things going on in my household. If you follow me on the gram, you know that we've been doing college visits with my oldest daughter, so just trying to get her squared away. As I like to say, hashtag sometimes it's not always about kicks. But at the end of the day, we still love them and we still want to bring this content to you. So make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe to the channel if you're not already part of the family. Also want to remind you about checking out Talking Kicks on Wednesday with myself, my two brothers, Cadillac Jackson and Beer Jedi. It's 8:30 Eastern, 7:30 Central Time on the Talking Kicks YouTube channel. Of course, follow us on Instagram on Talking Kicks so you get reminded of that. Last week we had the sis Cuta Queen on the show. If you haven't seen it, you definitely need to check out that episode. Very, very dope. 7 episodes in the season. We're a little bit a week off from where we would be in the normal schedule because we took the Valentine's Day off. Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. Hashtag is not always about sneakers. But this is definitely about sneakers, and this is definitely about the Jordan 1. Appreciate you checking in with us. As always, it is your boy, OGsneekerz, wishing all of you total sneaker family one love. Holla.